9 Teaching Practices to Consider. Hi there, and welcome to our video on teaching practices to consider. As a teacher, it's important to constantly reflect on and improve your methods in order to best support your students' learning and growth. In this video, we'll be discussing 9 practices that can help you do just that. Practice 1. Differentiated instruction. This means tailoring your teaching methods to meet the diverse needs of your students. For example, if you have a student who is an auditory learner, you might try using more lectures or discussions in your lessons. If you have a student who is a visual learner, you might try using more diagrams or videos. Differentiated instruction can also involve adjusting the difficulty of tasks based on a student's ability level. Practice 2. Formative assessment. This means regularly checking in on your students' progress and using that information to adjust your teaching methods. For example, you might give a quick quiz at the beginning of a lesson to see what your students already know, and then use that information to guide your teaching. Formative assessment can take many forms, including class discussions, group work, and one-on-one conferences with students. Practice 3. Collaborative learning. This means organizing your lessons around group work and encouraging students to work together to solve problems or complete tasks. Collaborative learning can be particularly helpful for developing students' social skills and communication abilities. Practice 4. Inquiry-based learning. This means focusing on student questions and curiosity as the driving force behind your lessons. Instead of simply telling your students the answers, you guide them through a process of discovering the answers for themselves. Inquiry-based learning can involve activities such as experiments, debates, and research projects. Practice 5. Project-based learning. Project-based learning is similar to inquiry-based learning, but it often involves a larger, more in-depth project that culminates in a final product or presentation. Project-based learning can be a great way to engage students and help them apply their knowledge in a real-world context. Practice 6. Blended learning. Blended learning is a teaching approach that combines traditional in-person instruction with online learning. This can involve using online resources such as videos or simulations in your classroom, or it can mean allowing students to complete some of their work online. Blended learning can be a useful way to personalize instruction and make use of technology in the classroom. Practice 7. Game-based learning. Game-based learning is another way to incorporate technology into your teaching. This means using games or simulations to teach concepts or skills. Game-based learning can be a fun and engaging way to motivate students and make learning more interactive. Practice 8. Problem-based learning. Problem-based learning is a teaching approach that centers around complex, real-world problems that students must work together to solve. This can involve conducting research, analyzing data, and developing solutions. Problem-based learning can be a great way to get students thinking critically and creatively. Practice 9. Service learning. Finally, service learning is a teaching practice that involves integrating community service into your curriculum. This can involve working with local organizations to identify needs and then designing projects or activities to address those needs. Service learning can be a meaningful way to connect students' learning to the wider world and help. Thank you for watching our video on teaching practices to consider. We hope these ideas have given you some inspiration for ways to improve your teaching and support your students' learning. Remember, the most effective teaching practices are often those that are tailored to the specific needs and interests of your students. So don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you and your classroom. Thanks for watching.